and
Conference will now be recorded.
I'll explain DCLGen, COBOL DB2 programs, what is the pre-compilation process, compile, link edit, bind, plan, and all. Okay, so in DB2, these are all the topics will be covered. Okay, I hope you can see the list over here. What are the topics we are going to cover in our training? So this document I will share with you. If you would like to continue joining with me, I will share this document with you. You can go through it. And in CICS, what we are going to cover also, I have listed topics. This document also I will share with you. You can go through it eventually later. Okay. So that is all about high level and overview of the content. So do you have any queries so far? Before I proceed further, do you have any queries? You want to ask any queries? Okay. Okay, team. So I am going to start with our content today. So that is the day one, and it is a demo. It is not a demo team. Actually, the people who are joining without paying the fees, for them it is a demo. But for our regular participants, it is a day one training. It is a day one training as we are discussing actual our content itself. Okay. So let's start. What is DB2? What is DB2? Sorry. So DB2 stands, okay, database. Okay, DB2 stands database. Okay, 2. So it is a IBM product. So DB2 is IBM product, which means that it is developed by DB2 is developed by IBM, and it is a licensed version. DB2 is a licensed version. You might be having a trial version, but it is for limited period. If you want to use officially, if you want to use commercial purpose and all, you have to take the license from IBM. Okay. So DB2 is a relational database. DB2 is a relational database. First of all, what is database? Okay. So database is nothing but to store the data. If you want to store the data in mainframe, when not in mainframe, in software, we can store the data in notepad. One approach to store the data. We can store the data in Excel sheet. We can store the data in files, like we have a VSAM files are there. We have a sequential file. We have a VSAM and sequential file. So instead of storing data in files, we can store in a database also. We can store in a database. So one of the database is DB2. Okay. So in real time, there are three types of databases are there. Team. Database models. If you don't know this, you can explore. Team. We have something called a relational database. There is something called relational database. Then there is a hierarchical database and network database. So mainframe supports all of them. For relational database, example is DB2, and hierarchical database example is IMS DB. So in mainframe, one of the oldest database we use is IMS DB. Okay, IMS is the hierarchical database and relational database is IDMS. So mainframe supports all types of database models. One is network database, example IDMS, hierarchical database, example for hierarchical database IMS DB. If you want overview of IMS DB in our YouTube channel, there are two videos are there. You can go through them. about IMS DB overview. And in our training, we are going to discuss relational database, that is a DB2. So what is the meaning of relational database thing? So we have a table 1 and table 2. So we can have a relation between two tables, or we can have a relation between more than one table with the concept of referential integrity. We have a concept called referential integrity. So means one table can connect with another table. The concept of primary and foreign key. So the concept of primary and foreign key. So when we have a connection between more than one table or two tables with the combination of primary and foreign key, generally that type of database we call as a relational database. In real time, we have a DB2 is not only the relational database, we have a Oracle is a relational database, we have a SQL server. So these are all example for relational database models. These are all the examples for relational database model. So I will tell you the differences between, if I store the data in a files, what is the big deal? If I store the data in a DB2, what is the big deal? So I'm going to explain all of them. I'm going to explain all of them in a couple of minutes. Let me give you overview of DB2 again. It is a relational database, and it is developed and lies controlled by IBM because it's an IBM product. It is a relational database. It is a relational database. The other one team, okay, the other one about DB2 is right. So DB2 is not only for mainframe. Don't think that. You should not think DB2 is okay. DB2 is not only for mainframe. You can use DB2 is there on LUW, Linux, Unix, and Windows. So it is available on multiple platforms. The reason why I am highlighting team, some people thinks that okay DB2 is exclusive for mainframe. That is not the case. You can use DB2 on Linux operating system, Unix operating system. You can use on Windows operating system also, apart from mainframes, right? So DB2 used in mainframe technology and SAP in earlier years. Okay, I don't know whether you are aware SAP HANA or not. So SAP HANA is a database for SAP. Okay, for SAP technology. What are the transactions we are doing in SAP technology? Whatever the things we are doing in SAP, generally it will be stored in HANA. So before HANA, the SAP was using DB2 as their database. SAP developed their own database called SAP HANA, but before SAP HANA, there was another database is called DB2. Okay, they were using DB2 as a database. Just it is a one example for you where DB2 can be used apart from mainframe technology. Okay, if somebody knows anything else, you are good to add on top of my points team. Always, I welcome you to add more points. Any queries?
No, sir.
Yeah, right. Now, so why we have to use already, we have the files, right? We are storing the client's data, transactions in files, right? So it can be either VSAM file or PS file, or we are using either data in the PS file. Any queries, team? Manjula, any queries?
For high secure and we can store the data large, huge.
Where Kiran?
For high secure, compared to files, we can use the DB2 for high secure, and we can store huge data.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kiran. I agree with you.
Real-time data processing.
Real-time data processing files also used to for real processing.
Yes.
Hmm. Okay, so let me list out. Okay, let me list out the differences between the files and DB2. Okay, first of all, we don't have connection or relation between two files. Okay, there is no relation between two files. Okay, Venkat, there is no relation. What is the big deal, you might ask, right? So when we don't have a relation, these are all the problems. So duplicate data can occur. So there might be high chances for having the duplicate data instead of having an occurrence. Everyone go on mute. Kiran, can you go on mute? Yeah. So there is a high chance for having the duplicates if you are maintaining, in data in the files. Okay. This is the one problem. The second problem, validation. Okay. Validation. So whatever the data you are inserting, it will take it. Okay. So because you store integer, it will store it. If you store character data, it will allow. There is no validation. While you are inserting the data, whatever you write, it will take it as it is. Example, okay, what does mean? So have a salary field should allow salary field should allow only numeric data. Okay, salary field should allow only numeric data. So is if I create a file while I am inserting the data into file, will it able to handle? No. I have to write additional logic. Okay. I have to write additional logic. Okay. Additional logic to validate the salary field. Okay. As we don't have straightforward validation in the files, right? Hence, we have to write additional logic to validate the salary field. So if it is a salary, it is okay, but there are multiple fields might be there. So we have to write logics, right? We have to write a logic. It's going to become lengthy code. Okay, this is the one. The second problem is that access. Okay, if I give you know write access, you can able to update it. Okay, you can update it. If I give update access, you can able to write it. So you cannot control access. Okay, you cannot control the access on the files. Means if I want to give only write permission to you, you cannot see the data. I should not allow you to see. I should not allow you to update the data. I should not allow you to delete a data, right? So that is not possible in the files. If I give write access to you for your user id, you guys can able to update the data, you guys can able to delete the data. So that is possible. Okay, right. So we have a access issue. Okay, so hence as our colleague said, the security issue also will come. The security issue also will come into the picture. The next one, okay, the next one, so we have very less option of primary key. Yes, we have a primary key in case of VSAM cages, no doubt in that. Okay, but it's not more user friendly. Okay, it is not that much user friendly when it is compared to DB2. Next one, consistency. Consistency of data. What does maintain? You know, in real time, if you're an employee, you know there is a one file for employee data will be there. There is a another file of particular project one. So I'm giving a simple example how this is a one file, this is the another file. So here employee number is there, here employee number is there, employee name is there, employee address is there, employee phone number is there, employee mail ID is there, employee gender, employee date of birth, and so on. Now here, who are all working in this project one? Who are all working in this project one? The project employee details will be there. Means same employee number will be there, same employee name will be there, employee phone number will be there, and yeah, employee skill. Now basically, since there is no relation between two files, this data is duplicate, right? Same employee and corresponding data is occurring here, and it is occurring here also. So that's why I said there is a high chance for having the duplicate in case of files. The next one. So you know, see, once you join in the project, for you, for you, you know, project is important, right? So what do you do whenever you change the phone number? You will update the phone number in the project table or file. You will inform to the project admin, boss, I changed the phone number, you update it. So when you do changes here, will it reflect here? No. Okay, if I do changes in the file, same employee details are there in another file. Will it reflect over there? No. So here you will be having the old phone number. Here you are having the phone, you know, new phone number. Inconsistency. So inconsistency will be there. So there is no inconsistency. You can say inconsistency, right? This is the reason. Is it clear? Is it clear, team? What is the meaning of inconsistency?
Yes, Venkat.
Okay, so these are all the challenges which we have. These are all the challenges which we have when we are dealing with the files. Okay, when we are dealing with the files. But in case of DB2, okay, as I said, we have something called referential integrity. We have something called referential integrity. So we have something called primary key and foreign key. By implementing primary foreign key combination, we can avoid the duplicate data. We can avoid the duplicate data. First point, validation. Okay, so DB2, while you are creating the table, you can mention employee number is a integer. So means if you are trying to store character data or anything apart from the numeric data in employee number, it will throw an error. It will throw an error. The other example, so date of birth is allowed by DB2 in this format, DD, this format. I'm giving a rough format to you. So in this format it allows. If you try to change the format while you are inserting, it will throw error. But do you have such things in files? No. You have tried the logic to do that. So that is a referential integrity, the validation. Okay. So DB2 DB2 will take care the validation. Nothing to, no need to write the logic, COBOL logic. Okay. Next, if I want to if I want to give insert access, I can give only insert access. If I give it to you insert access, you cannot able to do delete, you cannot able to do update, you cannot able to do select. Whichever the access I'm giving it to you, you can only do that. You can able to do only that. You cannot able to do any additional stuff. Okay. So if I give select access, you can only view the data. So that is in terms of how you are ensuring your data is secure. The next one, okay, so we have something called primary key and we have something called unique key. So we have something called primary key and unique key. As there is a two tables relation is there, always the data is consistency will be there. Consistency data will be present in DB2. Okay, if I update the phone number in one table, automatically if you are fetching from employee table, it will refer the same updated phone number. If you are referring the phone number from uh, project table, it'll update you'll get the latest one. Okay, so only the thing is with the DB2 is commercial. Okay, you have to take the license to is DB2. Okay, it is commercial product. Okay, and the way of accessing the data, if I want to filter the data, I can write a select command, right? In case of files, if I want to fetch the data as we like, it's bit challenging. Okay, it's bit challenging. Example, I want to read the data based on the phone number. Okay, I want to read the data who are getting salary greater than 50,000. So these are all very challenging in case of files, but in case of DB2, yes, okay, you can do easily with the select command. Okay, is it clear? Are you clear, team? Did you understand the deals? What is the big deal with the differences between files and DB2?
Yes.
Okay, team. So, so this is all about if somebody asks what exactly DB2 advantages of the DB2 over files, you can give all the examples. Okay, flat files versus DB2. Okay, team. So do you have any queries so far? Yeah. Next. So I'll explain the concept of DB2 objects. Okay. So in DB2, the next topic is DB2 objects. So in DB2, everything is an object. What does mean? Table is an object. Table space is an object. Okay. Database is an object. Storage group is an object. Column is an object. Everything is an object. Everything is an object. So let me explain DB2. Before that, DB2 hierarchical structure means if I want to create a table, if I want to create that table, what is the structure? What is the process? Right? what are the preconditions? First one, we should have storage group. The first and foremost, storage group. So first we should create the storage group. Once we create the storage group, then you have to create the database. Once we create the database, then create the table space. Then after you can create a table. So by the way, team, in real time, let me again go back to the roles of developer. Roles of roles and responsibility of the developer. I know I started something, but I'm bringing something else because that is I came to those points came into my mind, and I would like to explain immediately because that is a pre-option, precondition you should know. So, team, as a developer, you will not have access. Okay, you will not have access to create the any of the objects. Okay, you cannot create or alter any object. Okay, so you have a very limitation to the tables, very limitations. Okay, we have conditions, very few authorizations you having the access to tables. So maximum you will be having as a developer, you write a select command. Okay, then you write the COBOL DB2 programs. Files are with the kicks, whatever the combination. Right? So only you do this, all of them. So creating a table, creating a storage group, creating a database, all the things generally you don't do it. Okay, so you might do one thing, loading the data from file to DB2 or DB2 file. On top of that, whatever things are there in DB2, that will be done by DB2 DBA. DB2 DBA will create the storage group. DB2 DBA will create the database, table space, table. They will create they will alter the tables if it is required. They will take care the performance of the DB2 system. Okay, if I'm trying to retrieve the data from table, how much time it is taking to return the value as per the request. Right, so that is DB2 DBA will do. So max to max you should know initially COBOL as a developer. You should know outright the combination of COBOL DB2 programs, COBOL DB2 plus file handling combination programs. You should know how to what are the commands are there in DB2. But mostly we use select, not insert, update, delete, because any of that will be done from directly end user. Okay, for testing purpose you might need, but in actual data will be populated, deleted, updated by the end user, so nothing to deal with that. Okay, so I hope you know as a developer what you are supposed to do. So we are learning developer perspective content only, not admin perspective content. Okay, team, any queries? Next, so what is the DB2 hierarchical structure, team? Okay, what is the DB2 hierarchical structure? Storage group, database, table space, table. As I said, all of them will be created, controlled, managed by DB2 DBA. So we don't deal anything with that. Point one. The second one, okay. So let's try to understand what is storage group, database, table space, table in high level. Storage group is nothing but collection of volumes. Okay, collection of volumes. call as a storage group. So just you go to storage group in DB2. So if you see, storage group is nothing but what? Collection of. So this is the hierarchical order. Storage group, database, table space under. Yeah. Can you see, team? This is a good example for you to understand storage group. So storage group is nothing but collection of volumes. So storage group can contain, that is definition, but while you are creating the table, okay, while you are creating the table, we need to mention volumes. Okay, we need to mention volumes. Can you see? Create storage. We use create command to create the storage group. Create storage group. So what is the command? Stogroup group SG1, which is a user defined storage group. Then close bracket n. So here you will mention on which, what are the volumes. Okay, so volumes. So okay, what volumes means? Whatever the data you are going to insert, finally on these volumes only going to store, like a C drive, D drive. Okay, so this is all about what is storage group. Okay, team. So next, so database is a just, it's a large. By the way, storage group is nothing but collection of, this definition is common, collection of databases. What is database? Collection of table spaces. Okay, it is a just, it is a logical name. It is a logical component. It doesn't store anything in database. So how you create the table space? Create, sorry, database DB1 open bracket and close bracket. In which storage group? SG1. I'm giving a rough example team. So we are assigning, I'll give DB database, right? DB1. So we are assigning database 1 with the storage group 1, means creating a database in storage group 1. This is the logical relation we are building. Then table space actual data. So this is the physical one, but uh, your actual data will be stored in the table space. So create table space TB1. You have to give storage group name at the same time and database name. Okay, so you have to give storage group name and database name. So the table is linked with the table space. Table space is linked with the database. Database is going to link with the storage group. Okay, team, is it clear? Right. Okay, team. So this is what is all about DB2 hierarchical structure. So in order to create table, what we need? Table space. In order to create the table space, what I need? Database. If I want to create a database, what I need? Storage group should be created before that. So who are going to create all of them in real time? DB2 DBA. These are all the things will be created by DB2 DBA. But in our training, we can create the table, not rest of them. but in our training you can create your own table. So till that provision we have it. Okay, Tim, on our server while you're practicing you can create your own table, not a problem. I'll pause for 1 minute. Any queries? I'll keep on talking.
Hi, Venkat. One doubt. Are we going to talk about views and um, other table
Two
items?
synonyms we are not going to discuss, Sangeeta.
Okay.
Any other question? Yeah. So the next, so DB2 objects. Okay, we are about to complete the theory part today, team. So tomorrow we will see practical things, right? So DB2 objects. In DB2, there are two types of objects. One is system defined objects and user defined objects. Okay, any object, definition for user defined, any object is created and controlled by and when user, that is called user defined object. Example, example, if I create an employee table, if I create an employee table, I can alter, I have a permission to do it. If I have a grant and revoke access, when if I have access, alter command access, I can call alter, I can drop the table, I can delete the data, I can do anything on that employee table because I'm the owner. Okay, any other user can do it. Not only me, if I give access to you, the other mainframe is ready, that person also can do it. So whereas system defined object, so these objects are controlled, managed by system. Example, if you create an employee table, that particular table information should be there somewhere. So while you are creating a table name, basically what data will be there, schema, table name, and what are the column names as part of the column names, and what are the data types. You have any primary key, who created the table, this data, right? Who created the table. So here is the one. So these objects are controlled. Now whenever you create a table, the corresponding table name like TB1 and owner is Venkat A. This table is part of database 1. It is a part of storage group 1. or table space 1. Details will be there. So now who will create this entry? You created a table, but that automatically those details are going to update automatically updated by the system in sysivm.systables. Example, the other example. There is another table. We have a predefined table, sys columns. Now column 1, column 2, column 3. Whenever you create a table with a few columns, those columns are going to automatically update here the column name and data type of the column, primary key, or is a null or not. So those columns automatically will be updated and the column belongs to which table. So those details automatically updated by the system in the sysibm.sys columns. We don't come and modify this table. We don't come and modify this table. It is automatically updated by the system. That is the reason we are calling them as a system defined objects. Is it clear, team? So are you comfortable till now? Say yes or no, team.
Yes.
Yeah, right. So this is all about theory, team. What I said, I'll explain data types also today. So we are done with the DB2 and architecture. I'll explain that is tomorrow. So DB2 objects, now we covered it. So let me explain data types in DB2. Okay, what are the data types in DB2 which we use in our training and what else we have it. We have something called small integer to store numeric data, and we have a integer to store again numeric data, and we have character n, the size. Okay, if I declare character 5 means I can store 5 characters, 5 alpha numeric numerics numeric data. Similarly, var character n, again if you declare var character 5, I can store again 5 alpha numerics. Then there is something called a date, there is something called time, so timestamp and decimal, something called precision and the scale, numeric, precision, scale, big int, glob, blob, okay, like this. There are so many data types in DB2. Okay, in fact, we can store images in our DB2. Maybe not in mainframe, but you can. I mean, not in mainframe DB2. The other place you can store it. Okay, so if I go and Google it, so DB2 data types. I'll go to official website. Always you need to refer team DB2 for JetWise. Don't look something else. It will not make any sense. Now you see that they categorized data types into string data type, numeric, date and time timestamp, XML data type, large object, distinct data types. So many are there. If you see the string, okay, what is the maximum n here? By the way, 255. So 255 is the maximum length in, whereas 32,000 var character, what is the maximum value? 32,704. So whereas this character 255. I told you clock this much length, not in lakhs, more than that. Graphic, var graphic, DB clock, these are all. So I will give the link so that you guys can go through it eventually later. So numeric. If you declare a small integer, you can store this much range value only in small integer. What is the difference between small integer? Now you will get to know. Range. Okay, what is that? Now if I say big integer, this much range, you can store ranges. The difference is ranges. Is it clear?
Yes.
Forgetting, I hope you got the things. Now, if it is a date, the format is like this. Okay, the one what I represented is wrong. Now you can see YYY MMDD. So whereas time, hours, minutes, seconds, this is the valid format. If it is a time stamp, same only. So the format is year, month, date, hours, minutes, seconds, nano or microseconds. Okay, so that is all about that. Yeah, okay, team. So whereas decimal p comma 8 means if I declare decimal 6 comma 2, so out of 6 digits, 2 digits goes for decimal values. So which means that before decimal 4 digits, after decimal 2 digits. So NNN dot NN. So NN means number, any number. If I declare decimal 10 comma 2, 10 comma 3, out of 10, 3 numbers, 3 digit goes for decimal. So N 4 5 6 7 N. Same with the precision numeric also. Same with the numeric also. Okay, team. So these are all the data types in DB2. Any queries so far? If there are no queries, we will close for today. So Friday, we will not be having any session. Okay, but we have a session tomorrow, same time, 9 p.m. The meeting details are going to change. Guys, the meeting details are going to change for DB2 from tomorrow. Okay, so please you check your mail to get the meeting details, the latest meeting details. I mean,
Okay,
for
sir.
old participants who are new participants, you have to pay the course fees to get the new meeting details.
Yes. Thank you, sir.